Hello again, this is Professor Klepper, and so this is for Lab 3, where we are going to be testing minerals and identifying the minerals using the different mineral properties that minerals have. And so we use these properties to test the minerals and to identify them. And so the different properties that we have that you can read about in your lab manual, but I'm going to go over them very briefly. So we have hardness, which makes sense. It's how hard is the mineral. So this is actually looking at how strongly the atoms bond together. And so we can use the hardness of the mineral. We can test it using a glass plate. Color is just the color of the mineral. Now color is probably one of the least reliable of the different properties that a mineral has, because minerals, even the same mineral, can be multiple colors. Other minerals are always the same color, but that is probably one of the least reliable properties that we have. Cleavage and fracture are related to each other. Cleavage is how a mineral breaks along flat parallel planes. So it's basically how the mineral is breaking along the atomic structure of the mineral itself. It's breaking along very, very flat planes, versus fracture, where the tendency of the mineral to break irregularly, meaning it breaks in no particular direction, in a random direction. It cuts across the planes of the atomic structure of the mineral itself. Now minerals can either just have cleavage, just have fracture, or a lot of them actually show a combination of the two. Luster is a property that is related to how is light reflected off the surface of the mineral itself. Now we tend to group minerals into either being metallic luster or non-metallic luster. When we get into the non-metallic luster, there's a wide variety of different descriptors, but we're just going to stick to metallic and non-metallic to make this a little bit easier. So we're going to look at how does the light reflect or play off of the surface of the mineral. The streak of a mineral is the powdered form. So we actually use a porcelain plate to powder the mineral itself and to see what color it is. Now most minerals will have a streak that's very similar to the color of the mineral, but there are minerals that have a very different color streak, and so we're going to show you that as well. Magnetism does have a magnetic property. So we can use a magnet to test that. It's a very quick, easy test. There's very, very few minerals that have a magnetic property. Magnetite is probably the only truly magnetic mineral that we have. Fluorescence is looking at the mineral under ultraviolet light, and how does the definition is the emission of visible light after the mineral is excited by an external ultraviolet light. So it changes color, and so it displays certain colors if the mineral has a fluorescent property. Not all minerals do. There are some that do and some that just don't. And then specific gravity is what we did in our last lab, where we were actually looking at the ratio of the density of the mineral to the density of water. So what is basically the density of the mineral itself? How heavy is the mineral? So we can use that property as well. So that is what you actually measured last week in lab 2. And so we will take that information from that lab to put into this lab. So now what I want to do is show you how we actually test these different properties.